Hey everyone. Tonight with the Gauntlet, we are concluding our short run of Slingers by Spencer Campbell, specifically playing in the kind of weird West dust setting. My name is Donna. My pronouns are he, him. I'm going to be GMing tonight. So let's get a quick intro from our players and their characters, and then we'll dive back in to XP for last session, and then the next concluding adventure. So Rich.
Rich, I use the he, him pronouns, and I am playing Boyce Eberline, the Arcanist, a huckster, a hexter. He casts magic, but it costs him his soul. He is corrupted by the magic that he uses, and every day that passes is one step closer to his damnation.
We saw some clear signs of that last week. Excellent, thanks Rich. Michael.
Hi, I'm Michael. My pronouns are he, him. I'll be playing as Mallory Lewis, whose pronouns are she, her. Mallory is a troubled deadeye, kind of the sniper of the group, despite missing most of her shots last session. So yeah, hopefully she'll do better today, and we'll learn a bit more about what makes her tick.
Thanks, Michael. And Brandon.
Hi, I'm Brandon. I'm playing Marielle Gomez, she, who is using the Gunslinger playbook. Marielle was a farmer's wife who became a slayer after her husband was butchered by horrible monsters. And all she found of him was his gun, which she prayed over and prayed to God for vengeance, and he answered, or something answered at least, and blessed the gun. She named Santa Maria. She is very religious, and it sustains her, but she carries a lot of scars both inside and out. And sometimes you get the feeling that she would deeply desire to lay this burden down, but cannot do it.
Thanks, Brandon. So let's stick with you, Brandon, for a minute to do our advancement. So take a look at the 4 questions to reflect on your experience. They're in the rules tab if you don't have them in front of you.
Yes.
So yeah, pick one of those and answer it, and then you can do your mechanical advances.
This really falls under both what did you learn about an ally this hunt and what about this hunt will stick with you for quite some time. Which is, I think that Marielle did not understand how close Boyce was to damnation. I mean, she knew it in a kind of a vague way that he was tampering with things beyond his. Tampering with forces beyond his, beyond this world. But she saw the face of the devil there, and so she is terribly concerned for the state of his soul.
Awesome. So yeah, add a D4 to your hit points, increase 1 skill from D6 to D8, and then you can take a basic advance. Okay, Michael, how about you?
I think the thing that I'm going to go with is learning about an ally, but in this case, I think Muriel. I think that something that Mariel has been able to do is, despite the loss of her husband, she hasn't really closed herself off. During those few moments where it seemed like Boyce might have died, Mariel got emotional and you know, she still is someone who, you know, approaches the world with an open heart. And I think that idea is very very strange to Mallory. So yeah, going with that.
Does that seem like something that Mallory is like afraid of opening herself up to, or kind of wishes that she could, or maybe a bit of both?
I think outwardly she would probably, like, if someone asked her, she would probably, you know, say that Mariel's foolish. But yeah, I think she is. I wouldn't say like jealous necessarily, but I think she wishes that she felt like she could do that.
Okay, cool. And the same additions for you. And Rich, how about voice?
I planned ahead. At the end of last session, I answered my questions, so I didn't have to stumble and fumble. I learned about an ally during the last hunt. Mallory's doubt is her weakness, and I will have to teach her more before I go.
And what do you have in mind?
I think he's going to rattle off all the things that he knows about different monsters, like the litany of things that the Golden Gwangi has shared with him, so that Mallory now perhaps may not be open to learn all these things, but Boyce is cram session. Like, yeah, you need to know this and this and this. That is the plan.
Okay, awesome. And likewise for you, Rich, you get D4 hit points, up one skill from D6 to D8, and take another basic advance.
1 hit point. What one more hit point? I got
Okay.
to double digits, friends. Only
The
just.
D4 is like you as little as the D6s did last week.
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay. So
2 hold.
So after the dust settles on the Wolfen attack, you rest up a little and maybe you go back to the Ketterlings to help them out a little bit more. But I'm wondering for Boyce at least, when do you feel, you know, something in the air or something in your soul that kind of warns you what Zach is up to, that he is up to something?
We've had some, like, we're not immediately after, right? So a little bit of time has passed.
Yeah, sure.
Cool. I think borrowing just a little bit of the Mario vibe, there's a moment when Boyce is right. We have rooms at an inn, right? So he's looking out of the inn. It's across the street from one of the churches, and there's the church of the town. I guess I don't know how many churches there are, but there's a cross, and the sun is behind it, casts a long shadow, and he observes it for a long moment and think that the shadow of the cross, the silhouette of it, turns and moves and twists and gives him a vision of Red Zach, that he has dark plans, that he is not forgiven or forgotten, that we foiled him.
Okay, awesome. And for Mallory, is there something that you're doing in the meantime to kind of, zero in your sights or your eye? I have to imagine, missing all those shots in the heat of battle can't be sitting right. So like, how do we see Mallory prepping herself for the next encounter?
Yeah, I like the idea. I forget what the name of the place is in this. Is it the Forge?
Yeah, there's the Forge, which is, I guess, where kind of all of the really high-tech stuff, like the ERI, your long rifle, maybe the gunslingers revolver, that kind of stuff gets made in the Forge works.
Yeah, I like the idea of Mallory finding like a basically like a traveling merchant slash engineer and going to get her eye checked out and tweaked. But obviously not, telling the others where she's going because she doesn't want it to be a cause for concern. So she just kind of slaps the table and is like, well, I'm going to get drunk, and goes to basically find this tinkerer to try and make some adjustments.
And do they say anything to you that, are they like really businesslike, just getting down to brass tacks? Do they do it, or is there some kind of edge of mysticism about the forger engineers?
Looking up at the Forge Works real quick. I like the idea that there is some kind of shrouded mystery there.
So I wonder if I guess there can't be too many dead eyes around, right? There can't be too many of these rifles and these eyes around. So I think maybe the Tinkerer, recognizes you, at least by reputation. And, I don't know, maybe he says something really strange like, I see you're starting to believe what this world really is.
Definitely seen some things lately. Have you heard anything? Is there something bigger at play?
Well, I'm fixing you up, ain't I?
I suppose so.
And for Marielle, I wonder if there's something that comes into your consciousness that kind of provokes your kind of this disgust move against Red Zack in the hold.
It does. I think we see Marielle, and she is in what is a very rudimentary chapel in town. Basically there's a tiny altar with an icon on the wall in front of it, and a place where you can put candles, and maybe a bench, a simple bench or two that somebody has knocked up, and that's pretty much the whole thing right now. And she's kneeling at the altar. Her crucifix is wrapped around one hand. Her 6-shooter is on top of the prayer bench next to her. She strikes a match and lights a candle, puts it in front of the altar, kneels down, and bows her head, and she prays for, and you hear her saying, "Holy Father, please look after your servant, Boyce Eberlein." and show him the way show him away from perdition. I pray in Jesus' name. And when she's done, she looks up and she looks at the dancing candle flame. And for a moment there, it seems like the candle is giving off a foul smoke. The smell of, like, a charnel house. And it startles her. And then that feeling is gone and everything's back to normal. But she stands up and immediately crosses herself, and goes out to find the others.
And I wonder what Boyce's and Mallory's reaction is when you make that pitch. Well, Mallory's out of town, so maybe it's Boyce first.
Okay.
I smelled corruption. There was no
Can't
mistake.
help myself. Oh, you mean somewhere else? Okay. Well, I guess
You're not.
point of fact, Marielle, I am. But it's not
Well,
worth.
if you are, you're not irredeemable. I know it. I'll fight your devil every step of the way if you'll let me, and to the degree that I can.
Thank you.
Whatever bargain you made to get power, you did not do it. You did not revel in the corruption. You did not embrace it joyfully, I feel. Tell me if I'm wrong.
No, you're not wrong.
Whereas once we go against did and do, and that's what I smell. I wish I had a better clue.
I think Red Zack is up to something. I saw some shadow play across the street. Gwangi told us always to watch for the signs. The two of us have been unfortunately connected.
I wonder
We should
whether
find
he was-
Mallory.
Yes, she rode out of town yesterday on some hell-bent errand, is all anybody would say, towards the northwest. In talking to the Ketterlings after the Wolfen attack, I'm persuaded more and more that they were led there. But this wasn't just a happenstantial pack of Wolfen. Not that size, not that many, maybe one. If they had been attacked by one, it could have been a wandering one that just spotted the stead and decided it was hungry. But so many.
Yeah.
No, something led them there. Something, and I have to believe that it was to draw our attention or perhaps even trap us. Because it was a trap. It wasn't, a trap we shot our way out of, but it could have been otherwise.
I just hate the Ketterlings with a lure for that trap.
I've spoken to the survivors there. Physically, they're fine. Emotion, but they'll never be the same.
No.
And of course, none of them want to go back to that step. can't blame them. Even though it was their home.
Yeah. Can understand that.
We should talk to Mallory, and if she's agreeable, then we should take the fight to her. I'm less and less sure that it was wise not to have it out with him once and for all the last time we met.
Well, sounds as good as any other plan.
Boys.
Yeah.
Are you
All right.
well? I mean, all things considered.
All things considered, I am. Are you?
I'm fine. My heart is heavy, but there is nothing new in that. I want to tear the heart out of all of those who would attack good people like the Ketterleys. And there is nothing new with that. My every day is a struggle against giving up. But I have won that one hundreds of times now. So I'm fine.
All right.
Let's find another good reason to go on.
So how does Mallory arrive, and what's her take on this?
Yeah. Rides back in on horseback like nothing happened. Hop over to see the others, and the mention of Red's Zach. She's like, yeah, I have got regrets going around in my own mind about that. Something's got to be done.
So you're already already ready to keep traveling. Do you just stay on your horse and wait for them to catch up, or is this something that you kind of take on another day of preparation for?
I think I'm ready to go whenever if the others are.
Something's different about you.
Better or worse?
Different.
You cut your hair. No.
Always a good guess, though.
Learned well.
Were you ever married, boys? Or thinking about it?
I was.
Was it good? For
It was
a while?
really good. Absolutely. Absolutely. Best time of my life.
So was mine. I thought my heart would burst with happiness. Every day was hard work, and I didn't mind a moment of it.
What about you, Mallory? Have you ever been in love?
Yeah. Never married though.
Were you happy?
For a time.
No one asked what You should tell us something about them sometime.
Sorry, what was that?
You should tell us something about them sometime.
Yeah, she was like no one else. Hair as dark as night, eyes bursting with fire, always looking for the next exciting thing. Her luck ran out. You know how it goes, boys. Sometimes you get a bad draw.
Yeah.
Your luck can run out even if you're have no idea that you're playing a game. As it turns out.
Boyce takes a swig from the whiskey that he was carrying, offers to either of them. It's kind of the neck point fours.
I'll have a drink. Well, the Ketterlings are as well set up as they reasonably can be. I hope their hearts recover enough to reclaim their stead, but we'll see. But
Not a lot of them left to work on it, unfortunately.
no. So do you know where to start looking? Either of you.
We should go see the Golden Coin game. She'll tell us where Red Zack is.
She will. Although we'll see what she wants for it.
Yeah.
The who?
Didn't say it'd be free.
Never is.
Wise woman who taught me all I know. She'll teach you some too, Mallory. You need to know everything. It'll make you a better hunter.
Well, let's go then.
Whatever it takes.
Marielle
Claps
goes
her
over
on his shoulder.
and undoes Rosa's reins from the post in the stable. Going on a trip. Going on a trip, girl. You ready?
So where do you hope to find the your mentor, Boyce?
First of all, I gotta
You
book
gotta
it in just a minute.
skedaddle.
So, yeah, I gotta skedaddle. I think I kind of imagine that she is like in one of the tribal lands, not far, half day's ride away, when the mesas, shadows cast across the desert.
Okay.
Cool. And I'm gonna book. I assume it will be about the same time, but it may be slower. So I'll be back as soon as I can.
Yeah, drive
See you
safe.
guys.
So yeah, let's let's utilize some of these mechanics that we haven't done so far. So there's a specific mechanic for traveling in dust that we haven't done yet. So I'm gonna say we're traveling three spaces on the map to get to the Golden Gwangi. So it's about a day's journey, more or less. with all of you on horseback. So we have one Slayer make a hunt roll, which I guess will be Mallory.
Yep, that sounds like me.
Lead from the front. So you're going to roll that, and I'm going to roll 3d6 for the destination.
D10 for hunt. I got a perfect 10.
Wow. I don't think there's any chance of me not getting lower than that. I'm going to roll anyway.
I rolled that now so that I'll still miss every shot with my gun later.
You ace the travel roll. Okay. So I got a 6, but not that it makes much difference. I got a 10 total. Yeah, that's so if the hunt roll is higher than the d6, you find an opportunity along the way, which is good. So why don't you roll 1d6, and there's a opportunities and complications table, which may tell us something.
Did you say roll a d6?
1d6, yeah.
Okay. That is a 5.
Okay. So on a 5, you
Ooh,
find
it's a
a
random event.
shortcut. So I think in this case, you kind of, you find some canyon that maybe is the kind of place that you would typically not go into without knowing, exactly where that exit is. But I think for some reason, maybe your eye kind of draws you into it, makes you feel kind of like it's safe. And I think at the end of that canyon, you find Boyce's mentor. I think she has like a hut, maybe it's maybe in fact it's like a wagon, maybe it travels, or in theory travels. This one looks like it's been stuck in a rut for quite some time. And yeah, there's this old woman, like an ancient crone, like from Tales, crouched beside the fire. I think she's cooking a rabbit or something in a stew, or maybe over a spit. And there's a pot of coffee kind of bubbling on a stone next to it. And she kind of looks up, and you see her eyes glint golden in the fading sunset light. And
blessings on you. Wise one.
I don't want no one's eye on me who isn't invited.
His eye is on you whether you're invited or not.
Nah, not out here. This is God-forsaken land. And what brings you?
It's not forsaken by everyone.
What brings you out here? No one finds me without seeking me.
I imagine that's true. We are looking for a bad man who goes by the name of Red Sack.
Well, for a time there, I was gonna say you were in a target-rich environment looking for bad men in dust. But there's fewer called Red Zack.
He is a sorcerer.
For his sins, he is.
And he is engaged in a great and destructive magic, but we don't know what it is. We just know that we need to stop it.
And why would you do such a brave and foolish thing?
Oh, a person has to keep busy. And Marielle gets a little smile.
And how about
Something to
you?
do. I never was any good at knitting.
And how about you, sharpshooter?
Somebody's got to do it. Aren't exactly a lot of people lined up for the job.
Are you ready for what comes after?
Do you know what comes after?
I wouldn't be Golden Gwangi if I didn't.
Then you tell us, are we ready for it?
Oh no. Patently not.
Well, we're going to go ahead all the same.
Disturbing a nest of snakes releases a great number of snakes, but you still sometimes have to disturb it.
There must be something real special under that stone for you to risk the venom of the snake.
Can you see into people's hearts? Wise one.
Obviously not.
Some can.
Well, what
I'm
use is
told.
it? Seeing into someone's heart.
Know if they're telling the truth or lying, for one. Know if they're determined enough to accomplish a task. I can think of uses. It wouldn't be a bad ability to have.
Well, that sounds to me like being able to see the future. And there's no business in that.
No, seeing the future is I'd never desire that for myself or anyone. Nothing but sorrow and trying to look ahead, especially if you can see it true. No, I'm just say looking into someone and seeing whether their fire burns bright, and whether they are fundamentally good or not, if there is such a thing.
I don't believe there's anything inside someone that makes them fundamentally good or not. It's just what they do.
Well, what I do is try to destroy the people who send terrors out into the world.
Well, there you have it.
That is, I imagine I'm doing it for God's sake. I hope I am. But I know that I'm doing it because to avenge the death of someone I loved. His death must be avenged 100 times over.
Wow.
but I don't think that makes me
some people
think.
say when you embark on vengeance, prepare to dig 2 graves. I guess you're just going to dig one big mass grave for the 100 of them you kill.
Yes, and then perhaps I will lie down on top of that grave myself, but not yet.
Well, let me answer your question. Redzak's fire does burn brighter than most. And if he has his way, there ain't nothing in this world he won't burn.
I believe it.
We
It
best snuff his
smells.
fire out.
Sorry, say that again?
I said, then we best snuff his fire out.
Well, that is the challenge, isn't it?
It is. It starts with finding him and doing what we can to counter his protections.
Well, he is incarcerated in the hold, and I believe he has come to know that place like home.
Prisoner, but not a prisoner.
A guest, I think, is the wording that might be used. Doesn't go far, but he does go and come as he pleases.
Which means that he has at least some of them under his sway.
Well, the Sentinels have other things on their mind. I believe that they think Redzak is of use to them.
And so he might be, until he isn't.
Well, that's the way of the gunslinger, isn't it?
Not all gunslingers become thieves and murderers. Many of them just walk away. Redzak is not that type. If he's at the hold, then to the hold we must go, although we will not be well received.
So,
Do you know anything that can help us?
do I know anything that can help?
Is there a way in?
Well, I should think 3 enterprising slayers would have no trouble sneaking in, so long as they do it in the dead of night. I mean, you could concoct a foolish scheme, but I would say damn the torpedoes, go straight at them.
We have no illusions about the love that Sentinels bear for the likes of us.
Pulled a
There
gun on
is-
us last time we were close.
Yes, they are as suspicious of us as we of them. But Finding Red Zack in the hold may be tricky. Even if we gain Chris.
Well,
Oh, excuse my manners. And I go over to my horse and reach into a saddlebag and I put out a package. Some dried meat and tobacco. I don't mean to be a stingy guest.
well, thank you. So I think we might take a break here.
Sure.
Okay, so yeah, maybe to reset the scene for Rich, who missed the end of our last segment. Maori found a good shortcut to the area where Boyce had identified that the golden Gwangi would be. And at the end of that canyon, they found this stuck in a rut wagon, which Gwangi has made her home in. So she has, a fire going, some food, some coffee going, and has been, I don't know, just maybe needling Marielle and Mallory a little bit about what their intentions are and what they're really after, and being generally mysterious. Do we think that Boyce was like holding back or delayed, or
Maybe he was delayed. He had to pull off the side of the road, see a man about a horse or something along those lines.
Okay, so yeah, I think Boyce arrives to find the three of them kind of deep in discussion about something. And yeah, I think you boys see her eyes glint golden in the firelight, and she waves you over. Well, boys, so you finally plucked up the courage to visit me after all these years.
I guess so. It took the two of them to help me get the gumption. I'd say it's good to see it, but that'd be a lie.
As charming as ever.
Yeah.
But I hear you're on some fool's errand to finally confront Red Zack. God have mercy on your souls.
We need to know where he's gone.
Oh, well. I was just explaining to Mario and Mallory that he's a guest at the hold. He was incarcerated there, but has somehow wheedled his way into coming and going as he pleases. So the hold is hiding his fire right now.
Well, then I guess you got to tell us how we get into the hold.
Well, your companions had the same question. I said, you could come up with some cockamamie scheme, something you read in a dime novel, get yourself captured, taken in, but I think you just moxie up and sneak in at the dead of midnight.
Dead of midnight, you say? Not
Dead
in the
of
morning?
midnight.
I thought they'd be nocturnal folk.
Who, the Sentinels?
Yeah.
Well, I think maybe they do lock up their charges in night, so you'd be having less of them on watch.
Well, far be it from me to ask your advice and then deny it.
Well, but you seem like charming folk. Maybe you do just walk up and talk nicely to them and ask to visit one of their charges.
Seems how they took a pot shot at us the last time we were close. I think probably not.
You're as charming with other folk as you are with me, Boyce. Well, I'm shocked.
Oh, you just bring the best out in me, going. Why did you teach that no account, dirty scoundrel, all the things you taught him?
Same reason I taught you, Boyce.
Now hold on, I made relatively good use out of it. What time I've got left, I've helped a few people. Marielle and Mallory at my back or in front of me with me having theirs.
Well, I guess I was wrong about you both then, maybe.
Did you think that Red Zack was going to be a hero?
Like I said, I'm a poor judge of character.
Yeah, I guess so. I appreciate the truths you've handed us. What do you want in exchange?
Well, let's put it this way. I once gave Zach a tip or two when he was seeking a truth of his own, and I would like his candle to be returned to me. Snuffed out would be fine.
I look to Mallory, see what she thinks about that deal.
I think Mallory just shrugs. She has no idea what this woman could possibly do with his body.
Well, I mean, she means literally a candle, right? So it's not a metaphor.
Oh, it's,
Snuffed out. Yeah.
oh, I thought she was being metaphorical.
No, she's being literal.
Oh, literally just a candle that he
Yeah,
has.
yeah.
Yeah, we can bring that back, sure. I thought she was saying his candle, like his form, but snuffed out like he was
Yeah.
dead.
Oh, Mallory, I
That's
can
it.
understand how you think that way.
That's straightforward.
Yeah, this is much simpler. Sure, bring back as many candles as she wants.
Okay. So yeah, I think while we're probably gonna kind of push on, does anyone else want to add anything more in this scene before we jump to the hold?
No, I got to see what Golden Guangi. I couldn't ask for anything more. That was great.
Okay. So do you think you like spend the night here and then push on for Slight?
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah. So let's hard cut straight to the hold then. So it's most of the next day journey time to lay eyes on the hold again. So yeah, I think I want to do some framing questions on the hold. Michael, for Mallory, in the hold, or now that your eye is maybe slightly enhanced from the Tinkerer, what do you see here that's kind of unnatural, something maybe of a looming apocalypse.
Oh, yeah, there is. So we're in the desert, right?
Yeah,
There
yeah.
is this big storm swirling directly overhead of the hold. These huge, unnatural black clouds.
And are these just like the worst storm you'd ever seen or heard of, or is there something like that really sets it out as unnatural?
I think the I think it's the scale and movement. Like I imagine them kind of swirling you know, as though there's a vortex kind of thing.
Okay, yeah, like straight, like a as if there's a target on.
Exactly,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Okay, awesome. Um, Boyce, do you think there's someone else who is incarcerated here that you know, or that maybe you sent here in some respect
Oh,
in a past
I
job?
love the idea of having sent someone here. Maybe Marielle and I had sent a particular person who was in cahoots with monsters.
Yeah, I think so.
Maybe Mervin's brother.
Okay. So did Mervin send you to like hunt down and send his brother to the can?
He didn't want to. He didn't want to see his brother killed. That'd make his mama mad. Make his mama mad, wouldn't it?
Okay. Excellent.
His brother has never been well in the head, but his particular madness gave him a talent for calling things up that should remain buried.
You saying he's a bone priest?
He is not a deliberate student of magic. He is someone who's been touched.
Hmm.
And when he is out of his head, he speaks words that do not exist in any earthly language. And things respond. Yes, the dead walk.
Hmm.
So perhaps he is possessed by a twisted spirit or cursed, but Mervin wouldn't tell us. Said he's always been like that, just getting worse.
Okay.
Perhaps he
So
simply saw something he shouldn't.
excellent. So what's your approach for getting into the hold?
Around
Darkness and
midnight.
stealth.
Well, let's say your timing is on the nose, right? You're making your move around midnight. Is this stealth or some other?
I think
some
it
other
is
kind of approach?
stealth.
Okay.
Marielle should definitely be the one showing us how to do this.
Yeah. So yeah, let's just get you to now. This is a hole. This is not an easy place to get into, but I think given that you have your advice to go in at the dead of midnight, I think that advantage will cancel out the disadvantage of the hold. So we'll just be rolling straight one die.
8.
Nice. Okay. So yeah, why don't you describe how you scale the walls and avoid the lone sentry on a tower nearby?
The way up to the main part of the hold is exposed, but only in the last small stretch. And we are able to walk up to where the bend conceals us. When the hour of midnight approaches, a bell rings in the hold. It is a time of observation, perhaps a time that they change. That's of changes, and one of the things is that the guard is changed. So we see the guard pick his torch up out of the sconce and turn, and we make our move at that moment as he is talking to his relief, who turns, and by the time he has turned towards the embrasure and has replaced the torch in its holder, we have gone past the spy hole and have found our way towards an unshuttered window that leads into a small storage room.
Awesome. So, you get through the compound walls and, within the kind of jail block, as it were. Mallory, why don't you describe how you kind of locate or find out exactly where Red Zack should be here? And you can pitch for any action you want in this regard.
I mean, this whole place was a prison at one point, right?
Yeah, I mean, it is a prison, right? So it used to be a fortress, but now it's a prison.
It used to be a fortress, right? Okay, that's what I thought. Yeah, so I imagine that, like, do we know how long ago that was actually? I'm sort of wondering if I've been here before.
Yeah, I mean, you can fill in the gaps there however you like, or maybe the eye has been here before, right? Way back when.
Oh, that's even cooler. Yeah. I love the idea that wherever this eye originally kind of came from, it has this sort of memory within it that can be different from mine. That's a really cool idea. So yeah, as I'm looking around, kind of getting these visions of where things are, and being able to recognize where the not just where the cells would be, but specifically like where Red Zack would also want his to be, in an area that's out of the way, less trafficked, where he can kind of go unobserved for long periods of time.
Okay. Do you think this is study or
Yeah, study sounds
maybe
reasonable.
hunt? I don't know.
No, I think study sounds right. Let's see how that goes. Let's do. I failed.
Okay.
Oh, dice.
So, what's the yeah, so I think the eye is obviously relying on some piece of history that is kind of no longer valid or kind of just irrelevant to Red Zack. Where do you think the eye leads you that kind of causes trouble for you?
Yeah, I think it's probably a thing where, like, they've built more cells since, and we end up going down into this particular, like, deserted dead end area. And depending on how bad we want things to get, I mean, we could be down a dead end with guards patrolling, coming towards us.
Yeah, how about we put you in like I think you end up in this location that is kind of open to the air, and there's like one prisoner chained in the corner, and you're maybe creeping across this kind of open courtyard to trying to figure out who this is and whether it's Zach and what's going on. And then, like, they're still chained and they kind of just come out of the shadows into your eye line. And it's, oh, you don't recognize him, Mallory, but this is Mervin's brother, right? And he has got this kind of, cowl that covers his mouth that stops him from calling things out. That takes away his power. And he just kind of cocks his head at you, and he kind of like shrugs at you, like as if to say, if you free me, I will tell you what you want. Do we think Marielle and Boyce are right behind Mallory, or do you think Mallory has an opportunity to send things hurtling out of control?
Ooh, man, how can I rob Mallory the chance to send things hurtling out of control?
Absolutely.
Right? Yeah, I don't think Mallory would just free this guy. As chaotic as that would be, I don't think she's in a position where she wants to unleash more unknowns into the situation.
Sure, that's fair. And I think like, this guy is like preternaturally attuned to people or things in this way, and as soon as you kind of make up your mind, he kind of lowers his head, like, to stare at you coldly, and kind of pulls at his chains again. The chains are maybe attached to that faceplate that's blocking his jaw, and I think he just like retreats into the shadows, but not before maybe Boyce and Marielle kind of come around the corner, wondering what's taking Mallory so long, and maybe you see him, retreat into the shadows as he was before.
Wrong prisoner.
What'd you see, Mallory?
Some guy, a metal plate over his mouth. I don't know.
Hmm.
Very weird.
Yeah.
You have any luck?
Nothing. This place is a maze.
Not a drop.
So boys, let's give you a final approach at Red Zack. I think maybe Boyce has some knowledge of Red Zack, knowing his ways, or maybe just being able to smell his sulfurous stench. That will give you some kind of clues as to where exactly he is. What do you think?
I mean, I am. Boyce is pretty good at study. Maybe he could study and find his way, or if we want to obviate a die roll because the dice haven't been kind, then let's see, what would he know about Red Zack? I noticed that he's got this ability called Eternal Flame, and we talked about a candle. Maybe the wax has a particular odor.
Okay, yeah.
Could follow my nose.
Follow your nose. So, I think we still need to probably see a die roll. Not so much for whether you can track him, but like the circumstances in which you find him.
Absolutely, I'm happy to roll dice. I was not trying to duck them.
No problem. Do you think this is hunting, or do you think this is study?
Probably hunting, to be fair, which I suck at, but that's okay.
Well, you got a 50-50, right?
Sure. No. Yes, I do. Rich thinks about math and he agrees with the GM who knows the correct thing. Here we go. 3. Just so close. Okay. So close.
So I think you follow your nose and you find yourself, I think it's you're wandering the halls, it's maybe an hour after midnight, the kind of cold is starting to seep in. These old walls are great at keeping out the heat and should be good at kind of storing it up, but there's something about this hold that means that this early morning cold is really getting into you. And I think you kind of follow this kind of sulfurous wax smell kind of to the mirror image of the courtyard you were just in. So maybe the eye just got turned around, so it's basically the same kind of setup, but the opposite end of the hold. And when you kind of enter this place, you can kind of see these candles all arrayed in a circle around the courtyard. And they flicker. These flames seem like unusually high, kind of height that sometimes a flame will get on a candle for some ill-understood reason. And they flicker as you enter, Boyce. And in the center of the candles, like shedding no shadow at all, is Red Zack. So yeah, I guess everyone is in the either in the same room or at the entrance. So I think we'll call this near. And let's do our initiative. Actually, just while I'm here, do we want to take a quick break? Or are we okay to keep going?
I'm good.
I'm happy either way.
Okay. Let's keep going. So yeah, let's Red Zack's speed is 4, which is moderately okay, I guess. So let's everyone get to roll their speed.
4 on a D4.
Nice. See, finally.
Four.
Okay. So that's you all are going first. So
Mallory, you're first.
Mallory, you go first, and then
Good position to be in.
Ariel and Boyce get to argue about who who goes next.
Ladies first, always.
Yeah, I'm gonna shoot him. I'm gonna
Okay.
shoot him dead. Well, probably not, because we'll see. I got a 5, which I believe hits.
That is a hit.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hooray. So that is 3 damage. As my round rips into him. What other things do I have? And then let's do the analyze quick action. I want to give the next Slayer advantage.
Okay. Cool. So is that going to be Mario or? Yeah.
Mario for sure.
Right. My 6 gun in my hand, and the chambers. I say, Santa Maria, preserve us from fearful evil, and let's fly.
Okay. So click your chambers to select what rounds you're going to fire. And
So let me load the gun here, because it is loaded. And now let me unload it. There we go.
Okay. So I guess for blast, you picked a new room for your gun, right? You're in a room, so not to say that it will have no effect, but I guess it'll have a spectacular effect if you're pushing him too far, right? It'll be like outside of the room, so through the wall or through a window or something like that, which is fine. Just wanted to.
It just seems dramatic.
Yeah, very, very dramatic. Okay, and you have an advantage on this, so.
Okay. That is 4 hits.
Okay, awesome.
So that is 2, 3, 4 points of damage, blast effect, and he is grasped by spiritual webs and takes 1 fewer action next turn.
Yeah.
The 6 gun roars, and Saint Mary guides my hand as all 4 bullets hit true.
So yeah, I mean,
In fact, I think for drama, I think I have my arm on Mallory's shoulder, just so it's deafening.
Which helpfully didn't put off her aim earlier.
No, she shot first.
So yeah, I think this fusillade of bullets hits him, and yeah, the kind of the impact just whooshes him like straight out a window. I think the blocks around the barred window just give out, and he is flung out of the room, maybe onto the adjacent rooftop. Voice.
Nice. Adjacent rooftops. We're like out. Get some
Yeah.
out of doors. I like that a lot. That's cool. I think I'm gonna hex him. So I draw out a few cards and fling them as I say, Red Zach, your time has come. I'm here to quench the flame, my friend.
Aces and eights, right? That's the hand you want to give him.
Oh, indeed. I'm going for hex, and I'm gonna boost it.
Okay.
So the effect will last a couple of turns if I'm successful. I'm rolling a D6 and a D8, right? Sorry, I've done
Yeah.
this.
So if you're boosting, it'll be D6 and D8. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
And take 2 corruption for that.
It's 2 successes.
Awesome. 2 6s.
Yep.
Yeah. What
One
does
more.
this look like?
I think, borrowing on what Brandon said, it's an ace and an 8, and they both fly in a circle and slam into his chest. And I will choose one effect. It'll last 2 turns.
2 turns.
And I think what I'm going to do is, because we've already knocked him out onto the roof, the target's going to have to roll a 5+ to hit instead of a 4.
Okay.
Weaken his power. Draw it out.
Yeah. And like in terms of magic, right? Because all of his attacks are going to be magic. What does that look like?
I think I'll go for like a color variation. So the magic coming off of it is like these arcs of blue electric, and it just draws down and starts to leach out some of the flames that burn in Red Zach.
Okay. Awesome. Yeah, and I think he kind of picks himself up, and he kind of, I think, Brandon, you shot him with the tar, right, which is reducing his actions. But I think last time we kind of established this is more like a kind of a magical webbing effect that kind of constricts him, or was that just for that opponent?
No, it absolutely is. It bursts into a series of luminous strands, like glowing white cords.
Yeah.
That he has to pull or magic his way out of.
Yeah, so I think he like runs his hands along them, and it just like burns up, so they all kind of disappear in these flamey wisps across his body, and he looks kind of pissed off, even more than usual, and he strides back into the room, right? He climbs back in, and he just kind of like gestures at all the candles that are still standing in the room, all kind of 12 of them. They all just like spill onto the ground around you, and the wax kind of spreads out. The flames flicker across the floor. So his one action is to move back into near range. Rich, did you have did you do your second action? Sorry, I forgot to ask you.
It's just moving, right?
Yeah.
I guess I move out to where I can still throw a card at him, I guess.
Okay. So if he's on the rooftop before, like after you do the afterwards, yeah, your magic does near and far, doesn't it? Yeah, hex is any range, so
yeah,
I guess you didn't need to move out, but yeah, so you could have moved out, but you didn't necessarily need to.
Yeah, I'm okay with staying back.
Okay, so I'll leave it as is then. Okay, and he's looking like hell, right? I think you can kind of see the
Mario
wounds,
did a number on
right? And I think like
shot 5 times.
yeah, the blood that is coming down on him is like it looks like a flicker of, I don't know, gaseous fire or something where it's hitting the air, right? He's bleeding fire, I guess is one way to put it. So round 2. I'm not even sure there's going to be a round 3 at this rate. So let's see about initiative. I will warn you that there's a lot of shooting, and
Yes.
a sentinel might be arriving very soon, right? An assault on the hold in the middle of the night is going to get some attention, but that's a problem to worry about for next round, I think. Okay, so how about you guys roll your initiative again and see how that is.
I got another 6. Mariel got a 5.
Boys
3.
Okay. So Mallory first.
I'm going to shoot him again.
Okay.
Hopefully. 4.
You did.
I did it.
Okay.
So I forgot. He lost 1 HP at the start of his last turn because of the slow way.
Oh yeah.
And I just hit him for another 3.
Yeah, he is.
Spiky bullets.
Taking him out.
Oh, he's out?
Yeah.
Oh.
You've gone
Kablam.
through him like
Nice.
like a prune through a
like hot lead through butter.
so yeah, that is him down to 0 hit points.
We have to put his flame out.
Well, you don't know what his moves are, right?
Nah.
No, but is he still on fire?
He's still on fire. Well, that is true.
I'm going to load my gun in there, and then we're going to have company, and I'd rather have them at a disadvantage. So I'm actually going to put these candles out.
So Mallory, why don't you describe how you see Redzak die in front of your eyes with your shot?
That's Mallory. This is Mallory,
Oh,
right?
sorry, Mallory. I'm
It's okay.
Excuse me.
That's okay. Yeah, I imagine the last shot that I fire just ripping through his eye on the same side as the one that I've lost. And just his body just unceremoniously crumpling.
Yeah, and I think like his you see that the candle that Golden Wangi warned you or told you about kind of slipped from his grasp, and that wick is still lighting, burning away at the wax of the candle. And yeah, I think you see that flame maybe ignite all of that blood that's still kind of pumping out, and he just immolates. Like every bit of him goes up as if he's the one made of wax, or maybe there's something really strange going on with this. So Mario.
Kick the candle away from his burning body and stamp out its flame.
So stomping on the candle?
Yes, to put it out.
Okay. That sounds like destroying the candle to me. So, probably putting an item of clothing on it or something like that would be.
Oh, okay. I was just stamping on the wick, but if you
yeah, I mean, you could stamp on the wick. It just seems like a way
just-
to guarantee destroying the candle, right?
I'll take the candle and shove it into the his water bucket to put it out then.
Yeah, cool. So yeah, I think like you kind of reach out to take the candle, and like his body is still on fire and it's like slowly just burning up. And I think you get a sense of like a lunge from this burning corpse to the candle, but I think you can whisk it away without too much trouble. It's just like a jump scare, right? And then you rush over to dunk it in that bucket of water in the corner. Yeah, and I think there's obviously like a lot of energy, so I think like the water just goes into steam, right? And maybe the bucket just warps in shape with all of that heat energy, and you're left with this pretty plain candle at the end of it. Boyce.
I'll nod to Mallory. We should have done this years ago. Stick his head down into the bucket and pull out the candle. Probably sentinels on the way. You might want to run.
I think so.
So yeah, I mean, like the room is still essentially on fire, right? Those 12 candles are still kind of lighting up, and his corpse is still, gone up like a Roman candle. And yeah, so I guess you do have an exit now. That window that got burst out is a way out. Because the other way, the way you came, is currently being occupied by a sentinel. Gun unholstered and pointing in your general direction.
Well, we had better run then.
So let's do initiative here, and running can certainly be one of your actions.
Got a 4.
4.
Okay, Slinger's speed is 6.
Oh, he goes first.
Yeah. So with 2 actions. Okay, so the Slinger is going to sling lead. I wonder who is closest to the door.
Well, I didn't move out, so it might be Boyce, but then we did a lot of moving around with the bucket and everything. Maybe.
Maybe, yeah. I think maybe whoever is slowest. So maybe it's Marielle, right? Because you also have a 6-shooter, so maybe it's like I'm going to take out the person that I think is most dangerous, and that's obviously got to be another gunslinger.
Yes.
So
I can't argue with that.
Sling lead. It's 1 hit for 1 damage. And then I'm going to use Found the Hammer as an action, second action. All Slayers within near range of Slinger, which I think is everyone, make an agile roll. On a miss, you take 1 damage. So whatever your agile is, so they're all d8s, so you're pretty good at this. Okay, awesome.
Look at us all hit the deck.
Yeah. So yeah, I think you see them just like basically after taking like a couple of shots at Marielle, just kind of open up. If you can open up with a 6-shooter, but just kind of fill the room with lead, and somehow you dodge that. So yeah, why don't you make your move, or rather, take your actions, which could include moving.
It's still me first, right?
It is.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to shoot him, but I'm not going to feel too great about it. It's still a 5, so he's going to take 3 damage. I'm going to start moving towards the exit, but I want to kind of cover the other 2 and make sure that they get out before I dive out the window.
So I guess maybe you're making it to the window and kind of just doing like a bending retreat.
Exactly.
So like, resting the rifle on some brick or other that's sticking out of the ruined window, and then just getting them out and then covering them, kind of thing. Okay, cool. So yeah, Mariel and Boyce then.
Ladies first.
All right. I'm going to fire bullets 1 through 4 again, but I'm going to fire the second chamber first.
So
Or do
you
I have
have
to do them in order?
one reload, right? Or 2?
I've had 2 reloads actually.
Yeah. So
So the gun's full again.
Okay.
Actually, I think you should have to fire it adjacent chambers because that just makes sense. So we'll click the thing once and fires 2, 3, 4, and 5. The reason it matters is that the first one is with advantage.
Okay.
So the first 2 dice are going to apply to the first shot. Hit, miss, and a hit. So that's a blast and a tar effect, and then a regular hit. So that is 2 points of damage. Thrown back, and 1 fewer action.
Okay.
Basically, I get my regular action and 1 and a quick action. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. I will load.
All right, I think I am going to. I think I'm going to temporal shift. So you see Boyce fan through his cards as all the gunfire is going on around him, looking for a specific card. And he finds the Suicide King and flings that. And when it comes out, you see this after image of several other Suicide Kings as it flies towards him. We'll see if it goes. Of course, I'm going to boost it because, wow, we're in trouble. And that is 2 successes, an 8 and a 6. I am now at 4 corruption, but neither die
Those rolls,
was.
you're fine. Yeah.
Yeah, those rolls I'm fine.
So that is, I guess, yeah, 2 fewer actions to go with the tar. So yeah, this slinger is doing nothing.
And he's at far range on top of that.
Yeah, the range I'd be less concerned about because
hopefully next round Mallory will finish him off. She's our killer.
Well, yeah, the far range and everything is basically meaning that they're out of sight, right? Because they've been pushed
Yes. So
out
I
of
think
the
next
room.
round, I think next round is our opportunity to scarp her.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, it's true. I guess we could probably take off. That's probably smarter than just gunning them down.
No,
Too
because
smart.
if there'll be another or
There's
two
always
more.
another. Yeah.
Yeah, and of
Um,
course, the longer you stay in the fight, the more likely other slingers are to
Yes.
intercept you. So I think we can maybe say if you are taking your exit, you are, going out the same way, and maybe just riding for hell for leather out of here, right?
Yes.
Okay. So, yeah, so I think that's probably a good point to switch to epilogue mode, right? We've seen you kind of take out Red Zack, reach into the hold, give them a bloody nose, and escape, all intact. What's the chatter like on the way back home to Dust Bowl, or maybe off to Guanyi the Golden?
No, I got to get this back to Guangi. You do not cross her.
No, that's such a little plain thing to have so much power.
Well, powerful things come in small packages, he says. He glances over at Marielle with a grin.
I don't know. I can't imagine who you're talking about, says Marielle, smiling.
I'm wondering how Mallory is kind of coping with this kind of very, very different hunt in her latest experience.
Definitely different. I think she's feeling good about it though. The taking this very clear threat out of the picture. Yeah, I think she seems more a bit more relaxed than she has in the past weeks. This sort of unfinished thread that had been a source of anxiety has been nice and neatly wrapped up.
Yeah, so Rich, do we want to have an epilogue for Boyce?
Yeah, I think what we see with the epilogue for Boyce is he has I've been using a lot of this imagery, so I'm going to go with the instinct of he's got this leather-bound Bible. It's worn, and you see him walking up to the nunnery, which we've always seen on the edge of town, and he says a few words to the nun who answers when he knocks at the door of the convent, and he hands over the Bible, and she says, "We've got many Bibles here, sir." He says, "Well, those Bibles have more important words, but what you'll find in that Bible, what Esme will find in that Bible will help her a bit in a different way." And you see these black veins along the side of his cheek running down his neck, and he coughs a little bit in the Doc Holliday style. See a little bit of something comes out in the kerchief, and then he turns and starts to walk away. And when she opens up the Bible, you see there's stacks of dollar bills of money We tried to pay for her to have a better life. That's why he was slaying.
Brandon, how about Marielle?
I think with your permission, Rich, after that interchange, we see a hand on your shoulder. And Marielle says, so that's what it was all about. Was it?
What? No, I hate monsters. I'm trying to save the world. Told you I would need to get paid. What am I going to do with it?
What are any of us going to do with it in the next world?
Do you want me to go back and get some for you?
No. I wanted to tell you I'm staying here. I'm not coming back to town with you. These people need my help as much as anyone. And it's about time that I engaged in a different kind of help. And she takes out her gun and she says, and she spins the cylinder one last time, cocks and uncocks it, does flips the gun in her hand. And then she presents it to you. Says, would you find someone who can use this? Because I don't need it anymore. Please.
I'll search for what time I got left, but
that's all I can ask.
I'll put in my will that it has to come back to you if we haven't found an owner. I'll do that for you, but you got to keep an eye out for a little girl named Esme.
I will do everything I can, but I'd like to use my hands for something other than the taking of lives. I'd like to actually try to preserve one. And it's about time. I buried my husband a long time ago, but it's about time I put him to rest. And she taps her chest. It's a good gun. There's nothing like it in the world.
No.
I don't think I can shoot it. I don't think I can shoot it anymore, though. Go with God, boys.
I don't know God's going to have me, but thank you, Mario.
You will if I have anything to say about it. I think I've banked up enough favors, enough credit to ask for a favor. And she smiles.
Despite himself, voice reaches and we see a little bit of black veins on the back of his hand, but he reaches up to Mario's shoulder and squeezes it. You're a good woman, Mario. I'll find a new owner for the gun. You put your soul to rest.
Be well. You will be in my prayers every night.
And Michael, how about Mallory?
Man, I did not see myself riding out of town alone. Yeah, I think that
You can absolutely have it seen with either of us. I don't feel the action precludes that.
yeah, no, I was gonna say I think we do have that kind of scene, like, just after this, Mallory rides up to both of you on her horse, and she's like, all right, we ready to go?
Mm.
Burning daylight here.
I'm not coming.
What do you mean not coming? You're staying here?
Yes, I think they'll have me. I still remember how to cook and carry things.
Yeah. Oh, come on, Mallory. We gotta find somebody who wants some magic gun.
Take
Like,
care
we
of.
won't have any trouble offloading those.
I think we could get a good price. Just don't tell Mario.
I don't think Santa Maria will fire for anybody who doesn't deserve her. So you use your judgment.
Because we could start. He starts
Because-
walking with Mallory. We could start a whole thing. We go in, show them the gun. They buy it. It's useless for them. We offer to buy it back for a pittance, or they throw it away. Go to the next town. Occasionally kill monsters on the way. Can see it now. I can see it. And he kind of doubles over as he coughs a little bit from the laughter.
Yeah, I think Mallory enjoys that idea. I think she also doesn't super know how to say goodbye to Marielle. Like, I think there are a lot of things that she wants to say that she just doesn't know how to. Just doesn't have the words. But so she just kind of says, I'll stop in and see you when I'm in the area.
You've always seen better than anyone else I know. So I imagine you will. I'll be here whenever you want to talk, whenever you're ready
I like
to
that.
talk. You'll be in my prayers too. You don't need my help, but a little. Sometimes the smallest thing could be useful. There is no one like you two. I will never meet your like again. And I am glad to have known you, but I'm also glad that this chapter is over. It was burning my heart out, and it has run its course. But there are still terrible things in the world. Still have a job. I don't imagine that's ever going to change. I just hope you find peace in the performing at some point.
Which is, yeah, you've done more than enough. Wouldn't have made it without you. Be more battles to fight, but maybe one day I'll stop running too.
Maybe.
Bye con Dios, Mario.
Y
Come on,
también,
Mallory.
y también tú. Pues. Mi amigo. And Marielle goes and walks into the convent.
And we ride out of town with whatever time Boyce has left.
Okay, so yeah, it's a good roll credits scene. So I think we'll wrap there.
Yeah.
So thanks for watching. I'll stop recording and we'll do a quick debrief.